Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and thank you guys so much for being here today. As always, if you are new here, I welcome you, and if you are not new here, I welcome you back. Alright, so before I get started with today's reading, I just want to, oh my god, I want to thank you guys so much for all of your, your kind, supportive words on not just the last video, but several of the last videos. Some of you have reached out via email. I just actually got done reading a message and it just, literally, it took my breath away. It was so kind and just so warm, and it almost made me lose it again. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to get up and I'm going to do a reading because I've been really wanting to do this reading for a while. And it just kind of, it does distract me and it does put me in a nice sort of focused mood, and I need that right now. But I just cannot express my gratitude towards all of you, your patience, your condolences, your prayers, your well wishes, your good vibes. All of that is so meaningful. And it's YouTube, right? And so we don't usually think it's just, you're having these online relationships or communications with people that are across the world, and you probably will never meet them, but there's something about you guys that just makes me feel like this is not just a YouTube person. This is somebody closer. This is more like a friend, right? A friend, whether we have met in person or not. That's the closeness that I feel with many of you, and so I just really can't express my gratitude. So I wanted to, just say that before I get started here. All right, so this is going to be a follow-up read on the Idaho 4. And today I want to focus more or less on the perpetrator. So what is going to come out? What can we learn about the perpetrator? Where is the perpetrator? Any kind of physical traits, any traits whatsoever, all aspects. What's going on with this person now? What maybe led up to this whole thing? I do feel like we are dealing with a male. And I get the impression that this is a single male, right? This is somebody that worked alone. I've gotten that from the beginning. But let's just dig right in and see what comes out. So for the first pull, I am using the Arcanum Tarot deck. And that box here is right here in case you're interested. Okay, so Idaho 4, we've got Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan, victims of this horrible crime. What information can we learn about the perpetrator? What information can we learn about the perpetrator? Okay, what's going on here with the perpetrator? All right. Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Three of Wands. Seven of Pentacles. The Knight of Wands reversed. Seven of Pentacles is also reversed. We have the Six of Wands reversed. The Ten of Cups upright, and we have the Magician. Okay, so let's just start with that. So we've got quite a lot here. The first card that piques my interest is this Three of Wands, because the Three of Wands represents travel. Sometimes it depends on, what else comes out with it, whether it's just a short travel or a distant travel, but I feel like based on a couple of these other cards, it makes me feel like he wanted to travel. He's wanted to leave. He's wanted to go someplace, but it's not turning out like he expected. Or perhaps there wasn't enough funds to go where he wanted to go. Now, I'm not going to accuse anybody because I just, we're not doing that. This is interpretation for entertainment purposes, right? But I do want to say that there is a person that has allegedly, we don't know for a fact, but the rumor is that this person may have left the country. So all I can say right now is that I do see at least a want, an urge to leave. At the very least, he has considered it. But I'm not sure if he actually has. And I don't feel like he really has, because I just don't feel like financially, for whatever reason, he's just not capable of doing it. I can't help but to think that this person has come from money. All right. I think that this is a younger individual around the same age as the victims. And this is a person who does come from, a comfortable lifestyle. However, I'm picking up that there's been a cutoff. There's been a cutoff in that. Like, this is a person who has had everything given to them all of his life. And for whatever reason, that is no longer what's going on. Okay, so there's that aspect. Okay. And then we've got the Seven of Pentacles reversed. So that to me is, I wanted to leave. I'm thinking about leaving. I'm trying to leave. I just can't quite get to it. So I would be really curious if that person that I mentioned that allegedly left, did that actually happen? Okay, did this person actually leave? And if it's not that person, then this other person, this perpetrator, whoever it is, might not be the person I'm referring to, but this person is wanting to. Okay, they're preparing. This is like a preparation card right here. I'm getting all of my stuff together, and I'm planning on getting the hell out of Dodge. I don't want to be here. I think that this is a person who thinks that he's smarter than everyone else. He's smarter than authorities, and I say that because of the Magician. The Magician is also coming out reversed, so this is a person who gets what they want at whatever cost. Doesn't matter if it's moral, ethical, honest. This is a person that what he wants, he gets, and he goes after it, and he does it by any means necessary. So whenever I see the Magician coming out reverse, that can be a scary type of person. All right, and then again, we've got a relationship card here, so we've got the Ten of Cups. So I think that because we are focusing on the perpetrator right now, we've got a little bit of home life coming in, and then potentially a relationship. Was there someone that he was focused in on? Okay, is this somebody that he had, because I do feel like in the last reading, I picked up a rejection. Okay, so was there something there that was going on, and he, offered, or, there was some sort of, offering of being in a relationship, or telling somebody how he may have felt about them, and there was rejection, because these two cards here are the rejection cards. And I can't help but to look and glance at this pull here, especially these two cards and this one here and the Three of Wands. There's a lot of orange and black in these colors, and so I literally feel that around this person. Okay, the perpetrator is surrounded by these dark colors, and it's more or less anger, and there's an evilness there. There's a lot of anger though, and just aggression. Okay, this is a person who is dangerous, obviously, right? Anybody who could do that to somebody, or one person it doesn't matter. Anybody who can do something like that, that there's something wrong. We don't need cards for us to tell us that. Okay, but there is something here that's been building up. This is not something that just happened. He didn't just snap one day and go off and do this. This was something that was building up inside of him. He was just a dangerous person. He is a dangerous person, and he's been a dangerous person. But this is also, to me, a pattern of events with this individual, with the target. And I say that because of the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands and the Knight of Wands. All right, that's the offering. That's the, I'm going to, this is what I want. Okay, I want to be in a relationship with this person. I am attracted to this person. I maybe even he thinks maybe he loves this person, right? Kind of a warped version of love for the rest of us, but not to him. That's what he knows, okay? And he was not successful. I'm still picking up the rejection. I'm still picking up the rejection with these two cards coming out in reverse. And I'm looking at that Knight of Wands, and I do feel like this is a person who at least camouflaged himself that night, okay, or that morning, I should say. He may have had a mask on. He may have had protective gear, because this is armor. So what does armor do? It offers protection. So it hides your identity and it offers protection. So I do feel like he took precautions as far as trying to, maybe he wore a mask, or maybe he had a hat on, or there's something there where he tried to hide his identity so that he wouldn't be picked up on security footage or anything like that. All right. But it's coming out in reverse, and I'm glad it is, because that tells me that he wasn't 100% successful like he thinks he was. He thinks that he's getting away with this, but I don't feel like he is. He thinks that he was successful, right? The Six of Wands, that's success, that's triumph. All right, he's done it. He's made it. He accomplished what he set out to accomplish, but he didn't. Okay, he stole the lives of these 4 young people, and he destroyed these families, right? These lives of these family members. But he thinks he's gotten away with it, and I don't feel like he has. I don't feel like he has at all. All right, so let's see what else we can get. I want to know if... I do feel like he knew at least one of these victims. He knew at least one of them, because there's an infatuation for one. Okay, but let's see, where he knew him from. Was this school? Was this work? Did he live nearby? Anything like that. Anything that we can kind of, zone in on. Some reversals here. Okay. The Knight of Pentacles reversed. The High Priestess upright. The Page of Swords reversed. The Ten of Swords, the Nine of Cups. Yeah, he thinks he got away with it. The Eight of Swords. It's like the Seven of Cups. Okay, I'm actually getting like a mixture. I feel like on the surface, he's playing it off. He's playing it cool. They don't know. They don't know. Or maybe they've overlooked me. But there's the surface level of I've gotten away with it. But then I'm picking up something deeper, and there's a concern. There is a concern that maybe, just maybe, I didn't get away with it. Maybe, just maybe, I thought I was smarter than everybody. There's like a false sense of security here. And he's not going to get away with it. And I say that because of the Page of Swords reversed. This is him. This is him not being successful. Yes, he was successful in, stealing the lives of these 4 innocent victims, but he's not successful in getting away with it. There is, I feel, going to be some answers, and I feel like the answers are coming soon because of that High Priestess. Okay, it's interesting that we've got the Page of Swords, which is him. Okay, that's him. And this is also him, I think, with the Knight of Pentacles. But we've got these cards here surrounding this High Priestess. This is a knowing card, all right? This is a things coming to light. Maybe it's things that we aren't meant to know right now. Maybe there's things that, we just shouldn't know, okay? It could go in regards to the investigation as far as them not telling us everything, because we don't need to know everything. There's just things right now that we can't know. And this kind of gives me a little bit of confidence that things maybe aren't looking as bleak as we think they are. All right, because I think sometimes in the true crime genre, we see so much crap with law enforcement that we start to doubt law enforcement as a whole. And this case has now gotten to the point to where it's a little bit chaotic, right? Every day it's a different story. There's contradictions. This person said that person said this. You know, you've got family members that are frustrated, that are coming out and saying, we don't know anything. And so it kind of gives you this sense of like, okay, you know, I hope they're doing their due diligence. Like, I hope they're working on it. That high priestess makes me feel that way, that they are doing their due diligence and they are working on it, and they do have information that they're just not sharing because we're not meant to know right now. They're holding it to them. They're literally holding that piece of information. It's not time yet. And I know I said that I felt like this was him, and I do feel like it's him to an extent, but I also feel like that represents, this card, that pentacle represents the information that law enforcement has about him. So, having said that, and looking at these three cards, makes me feel like law enforcement potentially knows who this is. But they're not saying a word about that to anyone. I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking into somebody and they've got their eyes, they're to me, they are zoomed in on a particular person. But it's not quite time yet. There's something here. There's not quite time yet. This card here, the Ten of Swords, okay, this is a backstabbing. This is a betrayal. So to me, yeah, you can betray someone that you don't know, right? You can betray anybody, but I always look at this card as, because it is him, right? I look at this card as something that was building up over time. This was a pattern. This was a pattern of, I would say that it caused one of these victims a lot of mental stress. Like, this was something, I feel like whoever the target is, and I wouldn't be surprised if family and close friends to these victims, at least the targeted victim, they probably know. They have an idea, because this victim would have said something, because this was something that she had been dealing with for quite some time. Swords are mental, right? It's a mental stress. This is a mental wearing down, breaking down. Like, I can't take this anymore. This is too much. Like, I can't go on like this, right? This person here, this person is the one that's causing this. This guy is the perpetrator, okay? That's the weapon. Literally, that's the weapon that he used. He was causing this mental distress of this victim. So whoever this victim is, okay, and I believe it's probably one of the girls, she has said to someone, I would almost guarantee she has said to someone, this guy, she knew who it was, this guy is freaking me out. This guy is bothering me, he's creeping me out, he's, you know, and this was, but it was something that had been going on. So I can't imagine, in all honesty, looking at these cards, I can't imagine that law enforcement doesn't have that information. There's no way that they don't. They have to have that information, and I feel like they do. They do have that information. All right, we have the Nine of Cups, the Eight of Swords, and the Seven of Cups. All right, so let me go to that Eight of Swords first, because I'm looking at that, and again, I can't help but to feel like, yes, one of those females was the intended target. Okay, it's this one here. You know, let's look at this card for a minute. So we've got a red robe of sorts. We have a red blindfold. We have dark hair. Now, these girls, most of them have blonde hair, if I'm not mistaken. And it doesn't mean that we have to take that as, you know, sometimes you can look at those specifics, and then sometimes it doesn't really matter, right? But I can't help but to look at these girls, okay? This girl here, this girl here, this girl here, the darker hair. So I'd have to go back and look at the photos again. Is there something to that? It may not be, but I felt like I had to say it. Okay, so it's just something that came into my mind when I seen the dark hair. So there's something maybe there. But she really felt like she was at her wit's end. She was really starting to get stressed out. I just, again, knowing the age of these young kids, right, young adults, there's no way that she didn't express concern to someone, whether it be a parent, a sibling, a coworker, a friend. She expressed this concern, and she, I think, had been trying to deal with it, whether that means going to authorities, or there's something here that's telling me that she tried to deal with it, but it never worked. She was never able to get this problem situated. Maybe there wasn't, you guys know how hard it is. We see in true crime how hard it is if you feel like you're being stalked and you go and report it to the police, and unless somebody comes in and actually harms you, right, there's not a whole lot that they can do. They just can't. We see that way too often. He followed me home. Well, did he hurt you? Well, no, not yet. Well, sorry, nothing we can do. So I feel like there was a little bit of that building up, okay, with this one girl. And it was just wearing on her. It was literally wearing on her. Now, I saved the cups to go after saying that, because I do feel like it was taking a toll on her, okay? And I can't help but to think that one of these girls, in specifically was getting ready to graduate, Kaylee, and she was planning on leaving. Did that have anything to do with this situation? Getting the hell out of Dodge. I just want to put this behind me. I can't take this anymore. I've got to put distance between me and this person. I've got to get away. I've got to restart. Okay? I want to go as far away as I can possibly go. I don't know exactly where she was planning on going to start her new job, but there's something with that. Okay? So, there's something with that. And I also want to just say that popped into my head, okay? I literally just felt sister. We've got a sister here. We've got a sister that's been pretty vocal and pretty intense on trying to get to the bottom of what happened. And, she does kind of look like that. And with this 9 of Cups coming out associated to that, I do feel like that love for her sister is coming out. So there is something there with that sister. So I felt like I needed to mention that. And then the dark hair as well. And if you notice, and I believe that's Kaylee's sister, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that that's Kaylee's sister. There's the dark hair, but you can tell that she has this determination, like she is determined to find a solution or to find this person. And I do believe that she is playing a major role in that process, okay? She is absolutely on it, so there's that. Now with the 7 of Cups, that is a little bit concerning, because I'm looking at that as almost a means to kind of cope with what's going on in my life. Meaning, whoever this victim is, okay, whether it's Kaylee or Maddie or Xana, this person was getting to the point to where they were so stressed, they just did not know what to do. Sometimes the 7 of Cups can be a drinking card, okay? We know that they, again, this age, college age, you're going to go out and drink, right? That's just the way it is. Not for everybody, but what they were doing wasn't unusual, and it wasn't any, it was just a regular night, right? So many of us have had those types of nights, and you don't think twice about it, because the result that they experienced isn't the result it isn't the normal end to a night. So we're all kind of focused in on, oh, they were drinking or this or that. Well, hell, who hasn't, right? Who hasn't? But I can't help but to think that there was a little bit of that as a means to, I'm stressed out. Like, I need this. Like, I need to, like, relax because I am so tense all the time. I am so scared. I am so worried about what's going on. This person is just really, I can't take it anymore. Okay, so there's a little bit of that going on as well. And then just the drinking itself with that night. Okay, so I do believe that with this card coming out, this person was definitely in their circle, okay, that evening, that day. Of course, leading up to that day as well. But this person, there was something different. There was a change. There was a change from, like there was some sort of contact between the target and the perpetrator that night. All right, let me switch decks really quick. I want to see what I want to use. You know what? Just out of curiosity, I want to pull one of these Love Oracle cards because I feel like there was absolutely something here coming out with a relationship. This is like I was attracted to this person and I thought we could have we'd be a perfect couple, and that didn't work out. And so, I can't, because I'm messed up. I can't deal with that. And so this is my next step. This is my next action. So I just want to get a little bit more insight on this person's mind as far as, this relationship. Not that you can really say it's a relationship, right? More like an obsession, but that's what I'm picking up. So I'm just curious to see what comes out. Cassette, outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. The snake. Wow. Okay, the snake. Love call. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, so we've got competition, enemy, clever, malicious, looking over your shoulder, and the other woman. So this right here, that snake, is that magician reversed. Very clever, very sneaky, okay, very deceitful, very dishonest, isn't who he says he is, right? Puts out one facade to the public, but is a completely different person underneath the surface. And so that is this person, okay? And then, competition, malicious, looking over your shoulder. I feel like that was what he was causing for this target. She felt like she had to look over her shoulder. Literally, constantly, she was stressed out. So I just, from what has come out so far, I just simply cannot imagine that authorities don't have some information from family and other friends and classmates that, this person here was, really, really going through it. Like, this person was really stressed out because of XYZ was happening. So I do think that was a direction that they were pointed into from the beginning. And I think that that's kind of where they're going now. And they do have information. Without a doubt, I feel like they have information. The love call. Someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking of you and letting you know. Yeah, that's what it was. This person professed their love, if you want to call it that, their version of their love to this target. And this is a rejection. This is a response to that rejection. Cassette, outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over and head. So I really do think that he replayed that's him replaying how this is going to go. How is this going to go? How is this going to turn out? Okay. And if she says yes, what am I going to do? If she says no, how am I going to do that? And so this was already, I think, planned out in his sick mind. Okay. So he wasn't going to accept the rejection, period. Wasn't going to. So interesting on the love oracle. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull a couple of cards here. What's going on with this person now? Where is this person now? What's going on in this person's head now? What's going on in this person's head now? What's happening? What's the current energy? Okay, so we have the Sun card reversed. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, what's going on with this person right now currently? What's the current energy? What's the current energy? Well, I want to take that one sticking out. Ten of Cups. Look at all that family. Like, I'm literally feeling the word family come into my mind. He's with family. He's with family. Did he go back home? He's with family. But family suspects. I think family knows something's up. Family knows something's wrong. Two of Swords reversed. Queen of Wands reversed. The Justice card upright. Okay, so I'm at least happy to see that. The Queen of Wands reversed makes me feel like it's mom. Okay, this is, and I think that there could be some, look at all that anger with this one here. He's been coming up as fire energy, and I've been picking it up as anger. Okay, and so I feel like this is something that, you know, perhaps, I just feel like this is something that has been growing in him from early on. Okay, so there may have been issues that, you know, were there but weren't dealt with, maybe. You know, so this is just, and I feel like mom and family is coming up here, especially with the Sun card, because this is kind of like a family dinner. It makes me wonder if he has literally went to a family home. Maybe he is living, maybe he lives with his family already. All right. But the fact that this card is coming out in reverse and it's the Sun card, it makes me feel like they have some suspicions. Like they are wondering, okay, there's somebody around him in his circle, his social circle, that feels something's not right. And they may even be debating on what to do with that feeling. They may have even said something or are considering to say something, because we've got the Two of Swords, but the Two of Swords is reversed. So that's kind of like, okay, something's not right here. We kind of have an inkling of what's going on. Should we say something? Should we say something? What if we say something and it's not the case? Well, then they just rule him out. What if we say something and it is the case? Then what? Then how do we deal with this? So there's a little bit of that coming up. That Nine of Pentacles, again, it's, you know, kind of like, okay, I don't like that one. I don't like this one coming out, because it gives me this feeling of, well, okay, you know, it's done. It's done now. You know, what is it going to benefit if we, you know, turn him in now, right? It's just going to, affect our family. So yeah, what he did isn't right, but you know, there's a little bit of that. So that's why I don't like this one. And it's almost with this Two of Swords reversed, it's making me feel like they have thought about giving information or turning something in, or, you know, something, but they've been leaning towards not doing that. Now, I don't know if that energy is going to change or if it just kind of goes back and forth, because there's really a lot of mixed feelings here that are just kind of like, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do right now. But regardless of what they decide to do, I do feel like authorities have some inkling of who this person is, and we just aren't meant to know right now. We just aren't meant to know. They're just you know, focusing on the investigation and doing what they got to do. I with this card coming out and, you know, that High Priestess coming out, those two cards really make me feel like we just have to be patient. Okay, we just have to be patient. Let me see if I can get, you know, a time as far as information coming out, or, you know, some sort of, you know, answer or conclusion to this. See what comes out. Okay, time-wise, what's going on in the investigation? Can we get an idea of what's happening in the investigation and when something will happen? When will we have answers? All right, the Sun card reversed again. The Seven of Cups upright, and that's coming out again. The Seven of Wands. So we got a lot of, well, not a lot, but we've got a couple sevens. So we've got 2 sevens. So, you know, 7 days, 7 weeks. I hope it's no more than that. Let's just put out prayers that this is, you know, within days of being solved. But right now, the Hierophant, I do believe that the Hierophant is a little bit of both the authorities and the community. Okay, and so I think that I'm getting this feeling that this law enforcement knows that the community is, you know, they're not going to let this go, right? They are concerned, and I think that they do. I feel good about saying this with this card here. And some of the other ones that have come out, I feel good about saying that they are taking that seriously, and they are trying their best behind closed doors, which is not what I thought going into this read. I was starting to have some kind of feelings, some wishy-washy feelings about the, you know, authorities right now in this case, and this reading has kind of made me think, well, maybe not so fast. Maybe don't judge them so fast because they are working. And I just feel like there's a little bit more information that they need. They're not quite there yet. But I do think that they're getting close. They're getting close. I'm looking at this Page of Pentacles right here as the missing piece. That's the missing piece of the puzzle. Okay? That's what they're looking for. It could be the weapon. And that's another thing that I want to ask as far as the weapon is concerned. But I think that there's suspicions, and they're going through everything that they can. There's just not quite enough. They need this. Okay, but they've got other. Look at all these other things that they've got. It's just not concrete enough. It's too oh, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, it's just not concrete enough. It's not evidence that can be hardcore in court. Oh, okay. So that's kind of a disappointment on their end, and I think that they are very. That Sun card is coming out in reverse because I feel like they're frustrated because they feel like they know who this is, but they just can't tie it. But they know, right? They know. But they're not saying, because I feel like there is a little bit of, we don't want to tip this guy off. We don't want him to know that we're on to him. Because I think that for the most part, he thinks that he has pulled one over on everyone. He thinks he's so above everyone else that he just isn't seeing it. Okay. But there is a little bit of like, I hope I get away with this. But I think for the most part, he feels that he will. Okay, so this is them just kind of going through all of the evidence and saying, okay, you know, this isn't what we're looking for. This isn't what I feel like this is also them going through and trying to find the weapon. Okay, just going to various places or looking into, you know, situations or people or whatever the case may be. But this is them kind of going through everything and not finding that missing piece. They're missing that one thing. Now, right now, I see disappointment with that, okay? But then I'm looking at this Knight of Cups, and I'm thinking to myself, is that somebody Is that a piece of information that's being given to them? That's the way I'm looking at that. Is that a tip? Maybe is that somebody that's saying, hey, this is what you need, right? And this being the key. So let me just ask really quick about the weapon, the knife. Okay, where is the weapon? Where is the weapon? Where is the weapon right now? Where is the weapon? Where can the weapon be found? The Eight of Cups reversed. The Nine of Wands reversed. The Queen of Swords. The Two of Pentacles. The Three of Wands reversed. Okay, so I honestly, I feel like, well, we've got that travel card coming up again. We've got the Three of Wands. But in this case, I don't think, because it is coming out in reversed, I don't think it's too far away. I think that this person, the perpetrator, has put it someplace for safekeeping. But he's not willing to part with it. He's not willing to just dispose of it. This is not going in a trash, okay? He wants to know where he can go and get it. He wants to have it. He knows he can't have it on his person, but he wants it. So there's this dilemma of, I want it, but I can't have it right now, okay? I've got to put it aside because this is a really sick individual, okay? This is a really sick person. So I think that he has put it someplace for safekeeping. I wouldn't be surprised if it's someplace outside. He knows exactly where it is, okay? He's went there, and I wouldn't be surprised if he even, buried it, or, there's something here with the outside, near water, rocks, things like that he went to. We've got the Nine of Wands, so this might be someplace that he has visited in the past. Not a place that, maybe a lot of people know, or not a place that, I'm not sure if it's some place that he is important to him, or someplace, there's something familiar about this location. All right, and then I'm getting that Queen of Swords, so I feel like this is mom. I can't help but to feel mom. Is this a family location? Is this a place where he went with his mom? Okay. Does mom suspect? Does mom know? Because I can't help but to feel like somebody in this guy's circle knows. They have a feeling. They have a feeling inside that things aren't right now, but they're not doing what they need to do. But as far as the location of the weapon, I do believe it's outside. I believe it's in a place of, familiarity, definitely in a location where he can go back and retrieve it. And I don't want to say too much because, I just don't want to say too much because, you don't want this person to, if they were to go back and try to move it, at this point in time, it might be okay because perhaps they're watching him. I think that they suspect who this person is, so they might even be watching him. So if he does go back, he goes back and they are able to, find something anyways. But, I also can't help but to think that he does have an injury as well from this. We've got a head bandage. Doesn't mean anything was, doesn't mean that there's an injury to his head, but I'm looking at the bandage as a whole. I think that there is an injury that he sustained in this act. Okay, so there's that. And he, I don't know if, again, it's like he's trying to play it off that it was something else. And trying to explain it away, but it's just not, it's not going over. They're not buying it. They know. I feel like they know. And another thing with that Queen of Swords, that could also be That could also be authorities as well. It could be both. I don't always think that a card has to be either or. It can be a combination of many different things. It's just what you feel that it is, and I feel like this could be a little bit of authority as well. And this to me could be Lady Justice, right? And that's the way I'm going to look at it, because that's the way I feel like this investigation is going to come to a close, and we are going to have answers. And you know, let's hope that the answers come in 7 days, right? We've had a couple of sevens come up through this reading, and so I do hope that we do have answers soon. Yeah, I'm looking at that Two of Pentacles, because that to me is him just trying to figure out, you know, what do I do with it? Do I keep it? Do I not keep it? I want to keep it. I don't want to get rid of it, because I want to save it. I want to save it. That's just his mindset. Yeah. All right, guys, so I'm going to end it there, and let's just, you know, send out prayers to the families of these 4 victims, and some good vibes to law enforcement, that they do get the information that they need to wrap this up. But I do feel a little bit better, you know, because I do feel like they are working. They are working, and I think that they have more information than they're telling us, for sure, for sure. We're just not meant to know that information right now. All right, guys. So thank you for watching, and I will be back here in a few days, hopefully, and get another video out for you. And I hope you all have a wonderful night. Bye.